Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is HD, and welcome back to another professional StarCraft 2 broadcast. And I'm going to be bringing you guys another IPL game here, simply because, for the same reason that I brought you guys the last set of IPL games, is because most of the major tournaments running right now are live, and the replays haven't been published yet. So, you know, the highest content is what I try to bring to you guys with the best players, and, well, IPL has the best content right now, and we have Stephano versus MMA one more time. And, you know, if you guys were paying attention really hard to the last couple games I casted, then you guys will probably be thinking right now, oh, hey, HD, you casted Stephano in MMA about a week ago in IPL, and that's true. I did cast them. No, I'm not casting the same exact set of games again. What happened was Stephano MMA played, I think, in Group B, but the results of that didn't actually matter, because later on in that weekend of gaming in Las Vegas, what happened is Stephano MMA decided to encounter each other again. And this, I believe, is in the lower bracket round 1 or round 2. And so it is a best of 3. And this time, it's not just group elimination stage. It is playing for keeps, meaning if you die here because it's the lower bracket, you're done. So you're pretty much out of the tournament. It's kind of like playing Diablo 3 on hardcore. Speaking of which, I will talk about that in a second, because we do have a barracks coming down at the front, and I don't think that drone saw it, but nope, yes it did. So he's just going to confirm that, and right now Stephano, the biggest thing on his mind is it a 2 racks or is it a 1 racks? And you can't really tell early on like this, because you don't know if that second racks might be hidden somewhere else on the map. But if you go inside the base and you look around and you keep the drone alive enough to see the command center, then you can kind of eliminate the possibility of a 2 barracks. And even if a Zerg sees a 2 barracks, that doesn't mean that they're going to cancel the hatchery at the front, unless it's like a double 10 racks, because then that's just really hard to hold off. But yeah, I just wanted to say I have been playing a lot of hardcore. I thank you guys all for tuning into the live streams that I've been putting up. If you guys want more of that live stream action and to be able to see it live, see me playing live hardcore, then just follow me on Facebook or Twitter at HD StarCraft. And for those of you who are wondering, what the heck is hardcore? Hardcore is when you play Diablo 3, but you only have 1 life. So when you die, that's it. There is no respawn in Diablo 3 hardcore, just like there's no respawn in RL. So yeah, that's what these guys are playing right now. They're playing hardcore, and when one of these guys dies in this set, which means you need to lose 2 games out of 3, then you are done. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the hardcore games I've been putting up. I'm currently level 57, and I'm about to proceed with the final, or the first active Hell 1, and I'm very scared. Cannot wait to see what happens, and I know inevitably I am going to die. It's, you know, it's not something you're not gonna be able to live forever, just like real life. Eventually, one day we all settle into the ground, into dust, into ashes, whatever your preferred method of dying is, and hopefully it's of natural causes. Anyways, it looks like we did have a command center coming up here, and we're going to go ahead and see if... Oh, that Overlord, very close to dying here. At 13 HP. Wow, they're just playing the Dance of Fire right now. And can the Marine get that Overlord? I don't think so. So Stephano is going to be able to get out. But did he see the command center? No, he didn't. But, you know, there hasn't been an attack of Marines or anything like that. So now Stephano's got to know for sure. Okay, you know, it was a barracks at the front, going right into a command center, most likely. Hasn't been any aggression really so far. In fact, units loss is completely at 0 right now. Not even that Overlord has gone down. It is regenerating HP at the moment. So Stephano can feel pretty comfortable into going into a macro mode. But remember, guys, Stephano likes to get his roaches in Zerg versus Terran. There's 2 ways to play ZVT. You can go Ling Roach Infester, or you can go Muta Baneling, with Zerglings, obviously. And the Muta Baneling Zergling style kind of going out... Oh, the Overlord! Going out of fashion, out of style, out of sight, out of the air. Yeah, that's basically what is happening to the Muta Baneling. Some players still hold on to it, but most Zergs now use Roachling Infester. And we know that Stephano's the king of that strategy. He loves it, and he can even mix it up sometimes and go with just straight out Roach Zergling aggression at the front door. In fact, I believe we saw Stephano do that in the group stage that I casted a week ago. Stephano going for a Roach Baneling all-in, I believe, or a Roach Zergling all-in. So you can really mix it up. You can keep your Terran on your toes when you go with this strategy, because the roots that form the strategy can come from so many areas. You can go, like I said, from the all-in, or you can go from a macro game. And it looks like Stephano here probably gonna go with some heavy aggression. We can see a ton of Zerglings being produced right now, but if you guys look around here, we don't see a Baneling nest. So, oh, the Hellions are running in here, but they're not gonna see all the Zerglings running out either. Did MMA see this or not? I don't think so. And now Slayer's MMA is going to have to get his SCVs on repair. He does have the SCVs on repair. Zerglings continuing to flood out, and Stephano opting to go with the Roach Zergling variant without the Banelings, which makes it a little more difficult to bust through, obviously, the front door, but Roaches are very, very good at attacking buildings as well. And while there is a bunker here, now that there's a Marauder as well, it's looking increasingly unlikely that Stephano is going to try to bust this down, but damn, does he have a lot of map control right now. And if we look on the production tab, we see another hatchery coming at the third. So what Stephano is going to do here is posture outside the base. If he gets an opportunity to go in there and attack, he will. And what he's looking for here is when those SCVs leave this area, and even just standing here forces the SCVs to not be mining. So all of this it's economic damage that MMA is right now suffering. And so a very good play right there by Stephano, the French Zerg. And it looks like now he's going to go ahead and pull back. And the reason for that too is you don't really want to get caught with your pants down because of something like Stim. Also, medevac attacks are likely as well. And he wants to have some of his units back at home. And, you know, it's less things to pay attention to. If you have your army at home, then you can macro your base and you don't have to look at your army because it's already there. So it kind of just makes it easier on him, but he did, I think, give MMA the possibility of a little breathing room here. And we'll see where he goes with this. He does have a medevac out right now, and remember, Terrans can use that to drop at any point in time. Stephano does have good Overlord placement, though. It's a shame he lost to one over at the West Coast, but he does have pretty good Overlord placement despite that, and we'll see if MMA proceeds to drop or not. He's actually now moving out, currently at 0-0, but he is starting 1 armor, 1 weapons just now. Combat Shields is going to be finishing up within the minute or so. Stim Pack already done, and this is a timing tack targeted against this third hatchery. We'll see if MMA is going to be able to do any damage here. He's coming up the ramp, and Stephano has so many Roaches and Zerglings, so he can get us around. He can wrap the hand around the Marines, but remember, the Terran has medevacs here, and they can flee if that becomes the case. And you know what? The firepower here from MMA with the stimmed up Marines just kind of shredding through everything. Does MMA have enough? I don't think so. Too many Roaches coming out here, and eventually MMA calls the retreat, not wanting to, you know, over-invest too much into the attack. You don't want to throw, you know, the whole kitchen sink in there this early on in the game. What he can do, though, is kind of load it up and then come around the backside, and that's what we have going on here. But, oh, man, Stephano's so prepared for that. It's like, yeah, I know exactly what you're going to do. Come on now. This is way too obvious for me. And so MMA says, fine, I'm just going to fly out of there and find a better avenue to attack. And now he's researching Siege Mode, has another command center coming. And, oh, man, one feature of Cloud Kingdom, that's the name of this map, by the way, is it is so good for Terrans when it comes to covering the third. Because you can put the command center here, or make it a planetary if you want. Most Terrans actually opt to keep it an orbital, and they can cover it with siege tanks right up here on the high ground, and they get the benefit of having it on the high ground when compared to the middle of the map. So they have so many defensive advantages at that third that it's very easy, I think, for a Terran to be able to hold that. So that's one thing that MMA is going to probably look to take advantage of as he makes an attack over here, but once again going to be shut down by the little small arm squad at the third. And another medevac right here. MMA is just trying to find that one small avenue where he can peek in and maybe get a couple of worker kills. And speaking of which, worker kills for this game so far is 0-0, so it has been a very I want to say lack of bloodshed, not a lot of bloodshed being spilled this game. So it's gonna look increasingly more towards a macro game here, with you know, both players having undisturbed economies, and you know, with that production tab just kind of going berserk right now. Double tech lab, and I can only imagine that is for factories, and indeed it is. We're gonna have tons of tanks coming out now to back up the huge barracks production load. Look at this: 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 barracks potentially, because I count 2 for every reactor, because you can produce two times out of that for Marines. So production round almost of 10 Marines at a time here, and he's making 7 right now. 2-2 on the way, so MMA's forces really looking strong. And as the game shifts more towards the late game now, you guys have to keep in mind what most Zergs do nowadays is they kind of use Ultralisk as a stepping stone towards Brute Lord Infestor. It's just too big of a risk sometimes to go right into Brute Lord Infestor, and going Ultralisks initially kind of forces the Terran to switch up their production facilities, and they have to get all these Marauders out. Which are good against Ultras, obviously, but then when you switch to Brute Lord Infestor, unfortunately, Marauders are not very good at all. So it's kind of, it's in a way kind of like how Terran and Protoss play, where you're always switching up between High Templar and Colossus and Vikings and Ghosts. And, you know, Zerg has a slight advantage there because they can switch so quickly between 2 various Hive-Tech units, whereas Terrans cannot. They have to work with their barracks and everything. And we do have MMA trying to, once again, just go for these side attacks, but, you know, Stephano just too good. He's too good of a Zerg player to fall for any of those shenanigans. He's not going to get dropped. And you got to clear the Overlord dropping lanes first, obviously. I did notice a Viking was down here earlier, so there is a potential to drop the natural, but oh, this drop's just going to get totally shut down. That's what I'm talking about. He is way too good. Just all omniscient, omnipotent, if you want to call it that, for Stephano. Omniscient, I believe is the word I'm looking for. And he can see everything, is what I'm trying to say. So Stephano here with a lot of clairvoyance. And it looks like he's going to just have a huge Zerg. Look at the Zergling army he's got on the field. Taking a look at the units tab, 105 Zerglings? Are you kidding me? That is so many Zerglings, and, you know, he can be anywhere at any time. He can backstab at any time. He keeps the Terran on his toes. These Zerglings probably going to meet their demise, but hey, when you got 105, it's like, oh, I lose some, now I'm at 115. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. So, MMA here coming in with an attack. He knows he's got to keep the Zerg at bay. Cannot allow Zerg to get too many hatcheries here. He will be able to pick off one, which is a good blow. We have some Zerglings maybe for a potential counter, but we'll see what happens with that. Medevac here still trying to find a way to get in, and MMA, unfortunately, is probably going to lose that Medevac with a Corruptor that was hanging around. And one thing I do want to point out here, guys, is, you know, Stephano kind of going right into Brute Lords. So what happened here is he felt that he had enough of an advantage to just go right into Brute Lords. And, you know, a lot of Zerg players do this, too. They don't even bother going with Ultras. And another reason for that is because MMA already had a couple Marauders on the field, so going for those Ultras really doesn't force a Terran to switch when he already has the capability to make some Marauders. And we have an attack here. Doesn't look like that hatchery will go down. Stephano just has way too many units, but if you guys look on the map right now, what MMA is doing right now is essentially late game posturing. You know, his army is splintered, but the whole purpose of this is to secure a fort. He's not looking to deliver the fatal blow, the crushing, you know, Mortal Kombat finish him, anything, not anything like that. In fact, both these players are very close right now. So the only thing that MMA has to be careful about, though, is when his army is splintered, those tanks, man, you cannot let them get picked off. And so I think overall it's okay because he didn't lose any tanks that I saw, and he was able to secure the fourth. So I think overall that was a success for MMA. And if we look at the upgrades real quick, it is currently 2-2 with 3-3 on the way. Zerg is coming! The Swarm is coming at 2-2, and the Brute Lords are at 0, but their upgrades are coming very soon here at 1-1 apiece. And oh, those tanks in a good position, but they're just too far forward. And I say good position because, you know, there's a choke there they can work with when the reinforcements arrive, but they were just too far up. They shouldn't have been up the ramp. And now it looks like, we might have a bit of a base race here, potentially. MMA maybe looking to just give up the Planetary. The Planetary can make a hold for quite a while here, but he's attacked. Oh, man, look at the Doom drop behind the Natural. Did not catch that. Sorry, guys. As MMA comes into the third hatchery. Whoa! MMA is just all over the place. Remember, he is the master of Marine Medevac abuse. That's what I kind of, a YouTube commenter left a comment, and that's kind of the name I've given him as the MMA, you know, and it looks like he's gonna kill off a hatchery at the third. Oh, disastrous for Stephano. Terrible, terrible damage has been inflicted here. And don't forget, he lost the evolution chambers, and I don't believe he finished He did not get, well, he got 3 armor, but he didn't finish up the weapons upgrade. And so that was a nasty, nasty blow. Thankfully, the Spires weren't there. That would have been even worse. And all the medevacs here still alive, you know, kind of picking up whatever remnants remain from that assault. And that blow was so good from MMA, man. He attacked like 2, maybe 3 locations at once. 2 major battles for sure. And now Stephano got to go on the offense, got to figure something out. He's lost a hatchery. He's lost some upgrade advantages here. He's trying to double expand, you know, reclaim a certain spot and then get the top left, but he's also got to attack while doing this. The same reason why MMA attacks while expanding. Every top player in StarCraft 2, the whole mantra, the whole device behind victory in this economic game is to attack while expanding, and we can see here Stephano trying to double expand to make up for the deficit and attack, and you know what, he might actually be able to kill off this floating command center here. Corruptors, it'll take some time to kill it off, but eventually it will die, and it's not burning. Thor's being incorporated here from MMA, and this is kind of, you know, when I casted this live, I said Thor's not so great. Why would you go Thor's against Broodlords? And when you think about it, it makes sense. You know, they're not very good. But then again, Terran are having a very hard time dealing with the late game of Zerg. You know, Terran is, just like they can't really deal with late game Protoss, the late game Zerg, very hard to deal with right now. And they're kind of trying to figure out what to use against the late game composition of Broodlord and Fester. And some are throwing in those Thors just because the Zerg Broodlords like to clump up as well as the Corruptors. So it's a nice unit to have. You just don't want to overcommit. And right now, you know, MMA going for 2. We'll see how it works. He's going to get his tank surrounded. Oh! And don't forget, though, guys, that MMA still has that eco advantage. You know, that last battle went very well for MMA. And right now, all he has to do is just hold on to his tank count. If he doesn't lose his tanks, and he can hold on to this base, he's going to be in a fantastic position against Stephano. And Stephano's coming in here with everything. Whoa, those Thors are going to get absolutely surrounded. Nice fungal growth right there as well. And it looks like, oh, Stephano's just got to pull back. And at the meantime, an attack over on the top left as the siege tanks provide covering fire for these Marines. Will he be able to take out the hatchery? Oh, it's going to be close! And the transfuses, not enough to keep it alive as the units come back. And even though all those tanks and Marines fall, man, they get the Medal of Valor there, the badge of honor. And oh no, Stephano gonna lose some of his Broodlords on the retreat. Thankfully, he had some infestors underground. And I don't know how MMA knew that there were infestors under there. He just kind of pulled away, and oh, great fungal by Stephano. Couldn't have been better right there, and this is what he needs to get back in this game. But he is at such a, he's under so much pressure right now. There's attacks coming from every direction. This is what MMA does best. Korean Zerg at its finest, or Korean Terran at its finest. I should say how to slaughter a Zerg from a Korean at its finest, and this is exactly what we're seeing right now. Medevac's gonna go down, but damn, is MMA in control of this game or what? No, it's certainly not over yet for Stephano, but I really feel like if he loses his hatchery, man, he is in a whole world of hurt. Look at how many bases MMA's on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, some of those aren't mining, and he's gonna kill off a Hatchery's at 2 HP. Unbelievable! Unbelievable right now. But the thing here is, while Zerg buildings regenerate over time, you know, that's a very weak hatchery. He's going to have to bring some Queasies over to transfuse it. Unless he wants to lose it to just a rogue Marine. Some kind of Rambo Marine just runs in there and says, I got this, guys. And he could certainly do it, man. It's just a couple shots away from death. But as I was saying, you know, look at the minimap right now. MMA's got, I'd say, 3 mining bases, potentially 3 once he gets this one up. Stephano is like kind of scrambling to get bases mining. You know, that's the problem right now, and he doesn't have as many workers either. And what are these 2 Marines doing? They're just kind of chilling there, reporting back home. Hey, we need to take out this hatchery next. There's another Zerg infestation to the north, the northwest, and oh man. You know, overall, just looking at this game here, Stephano, can he get back in it? That's kind of the question I'm asking right now. Can he do it? He's still got Broodlord Infestor. That's such a powerful composition. He's just gonna have to figure out how to make this work, man. All together, he's got to fit the puzzle together here, piece it together. And this is not what he wants to let happen. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any creep spread up there. And you know, at this point, his best option is to counterattack, and we can see him beginning to move out. I like this decision. No way you can come up there and save that base. You're already over here. Might as well try to go base for base. You've got Broodlords. You've got Infestors. You can outrange this Planetary and do a lot of damage. You just got to control your unit right. And he's still got to worry about the ongoing attack here at the northwest. Meanwhile, he's posturing on the ramp. The Planetary taking serious damage at 40, 50, almost 50 kills. Will it go down? Stephano needs to finish the Planetary. He's bungling the SCVs that are trying to repair it. The Planetary is just racking up kills. Oh my god, and the longer that Stephano does this without killing the PF, the better it goes for MMA, because MMA is attacking on the other side, gutting the interior of the Zerg base, and finally, will Stephano pull away and save his base or not? Will he even get the Planetary Fortress? How many links does it get to the center of a lollipop? I don't know, and finally, the command center finally goes down. Oh my god, so many questions. Finally, one has been answered. And now, the ultimate question. When will we see the GG from Stephano? Because this first game is not looking bueno for him at all. Spire is going to fall. One more Greater Spire could fall as well. Investors have come out. Maybe a last minute, you know, save the day kind of move. But, oh boy. Terran Army is looking mad right now. And when I say mad, I mean, damn, they look boss. 3-3. Plenty of mech, plenty of bio support. Love the couple of Thors placed in as well. These tanks retreating back to where they are safe. Stephano, if he can pick off these tanks as an intercept, he might have a shot here to, you know, get a little bit of an edge back in this game. And there's the fungal. And hey guys, I'm gonna chuck this infested Terran down and to deal with those tanks. And this could be it. Oh, it's gonna be a Zerg slaughter as MMA tears his way through everything that Stephano's got left. And a well played comes out from the always well-mannered Millennium Stephano. Nice game right there. Very active, and you know, saved the last 10 minutes of the game. It was a pretty big build-up. You know, it was like an arms race between the two sides, and finally we have both of the armies kind of colliding there. Sorry, I just noticed my iPhone alarm was going off the entire time, so I don't know if you guys heard like a in the background. Hopefully not, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of this game and what I can kind of dissect here. But you know, honestly, for the last 10 minutes, it really seemed like MMA kind of just working his magic against the well-known French player Stephano. And here it is. You know, at 18 minutes, the game is very, very close. And if you look at all the tabs, you would say, you know, Stephano maybe losing just a hair, but not really. It's a pretty close game right now. But I know exactly what I want to show you guys. And this is it. This is when he was kind of doing the mass attack all around the map to secure that command center. It was beautiful. I mean, notice how he was attacking all over the place. And let's just go ahead and see, when did he bring that mass medevac drop into behind the natural? Because that was a work of art. How did he even get back there? It's beyond me. There it is. So 4 medevacs full. That's a lot of firepower, man. And look at this. This is just brilliant Terran battle plans. You know, this is a general's mind here. He comes in with the 4 medevacs behind the natural. And he knows, man. He knows where the Zerg army is at. It's at the middle of the map. And he's like, okay, you're going to kill my Planetary Fortress, but you know what? This Planetary Fortress is going to get a lot of kills before it goes down. And in that meantime, while you get 1 base, I'm going to get 2. And I know I'm going to get 2 because I know your Zerg army is in the middle of the map. And the thing about Broodlord Infestor is it's a little slow, you know? It takes a while for Broodlords to kind of mobilize around the map. Now, let's see. Did he get this Evolution Chamber? No, he didn't get that one. And did actually finish +3, but he did delay +3 weapons for quite some time. And overall, this is where MMA kind of turned the game around and said, "This is mine. You know, this is my game to win. Now you're in trouble." God, it actually killed off 2 hatcheries. So there it is, 3 hatcheries total, 2 on the left and 1 on the excuse me, 2 hatcheries on the left and the Eva chambers on the right. So a very devastating blow by MMA. And all for the cost of a Planetary Fortress that took some Zerglings down to hell with them. So, very nice. And that's going to be it for this game. I'll see you guys in game number 2. It's going to be Stephano and MMA. Once again, with Stephano down 1, we'll see what happens. This is HD, signing out.